Hey there, kid. You missed me. It was like 5 minutes. So I finished. I got OV into the squad. Put him in the appropriate places everywhere. Did in fact end up dropping someone off at the moment, and that is the legend Chelios. As a Chicago boy, I don't know if I can call myself a boy anymore. Um, been an adult for longer years than I've been a child. um, I don't actually adulting, and I'm not. I'm clearly immature, so that's not the issue. Anyway, um, yeah. So being a Chicago boy, having to drop Chelly, you know, with like his best possible card, it's just like, why? Like he, he's he's not necessarily the the best ever U.S. born player. He's not necessarily the best U.S. born player to have played for the Blackhawks. Um, since off the top of my head, like the top five, I think all have played for the Blackhawks. But no, I mean at the moment, I feel like that's going to Kaner. Just if only because he's already got the records. Um, Chelly a bit different. He's on defense as opposed to like Olczyk or even Brett Hull, who was like the Hull that didn't really play for the Hawks, played for all the Hawks opponents like the Blues mainly, and even the Wings I think for a minute. Um, but anyway, and Chelly was almost more known for a lot of people with his play with the Wings. But guys like him and Roenick, those of us in Chicago, it's like when they were just here and playing for our team, they were our guys, and so it didn't really matter. If they had to move on later in their career, even if they more or less killed the team when they'd come back to play us, because during that time period, the team was terrible. Like they'd be lucky and fortunate if they were able to make the playoffs or get even anywhere close to it. So moving on, point being, it just kind of pains me a little bit, but also just kind of annoys me that I have to get rid of Chelios as a Chicago boy. Because how hard would that have been to just like set his stats slash attributes slash traits, whatever the fuck, so that when he gets maxed out, he's at least got max shot. He's very clearly an offensive defenseman with all the scoring of points that he did throughout his career. But it is what it is. At the moment, he's been taken off the squad. I'm no longer needing to test out how Kanoye and Howard Chuck play. So for the moment, Kanoye is still holding out that front line right winger slot as being my view of the best left-handed shot that I have that is not a center. This is untradeable, by the way, in case like you didn't understand that. It says it on the thing, but yeah, it's an untradeable card, which is don't go looking for it in the auction market because it's not going to exist. I couldn't tell you why it's not in the collection list for the Predators. Kind of makes no sense to me. I kind of want to go over to my collection now that I've done this, and I'll do that when I end up ending the broadcast, I guess, to see if like he shows up now that I've got him because it wasn't on the list all day before I got him. Um, but anyway, yeah, I don't, I've had Howard Chuck in enough games, like five or more, um, that I've tested it out, got a feel for it, and it's fine. And as I mentioned in the last broadcast, he's got a bit more bulk and a bit more opportunity to play on the body than Kanoye with his smaller stature and size, and the beep beep Roadrunner with the pure speed and deking, etc. So Kanoye stays up there in the front line, right winger, as I was saying. My opinion of kind of the best left-handed shot that I've got on the team that is not a center, and not naturally playing on defense. My defense is terrible though, and to that point, I've moved Howard Chuck over to play defense, um, and so that meant Ovi, as I said, was going to be playing the first line left wing, and he is. So I got a right-handed shot there. I play inverted, in case you haven't figured that out yet. I've said it in every broadcast. So left-handed shots go on the right side, and right-handed shots go on the left. That's the same for all 4 lines for forwards and all 3 lines for defense. Um, when I can. At the moment, it's close, but not exactly there. So it's Kanoye on the right, Ovi on the left, and then it's Tavares, who can very easily take the place of Kanoye as the front line top left-handed shot. That's not a center, but at the moment he's playing on the second line alongside Hemsky, right-handed shot, another 99, very underrated card in my opinion. It still kind of surprises me that it's going for as few coins as it is. I would understand it going for those few of coins just because of how late it is in the year, but when you look at some of these cards that are still going for 500,000 coins or more, um, it's good value for sure in my opinion. And I'm probably not looking to sell mine, so it's not like I'm trying to sell you on buying mine. And then the third line, left side at the moment is actually Medano. And the right side is shoot. Did I just change that? I don't know. I might have just moved that around, but it was JT Comfer, and he was the only not 99 out of the front 6. I think that's still the case. He's a 96 overall, but another really solid card and a great right-handed shot. If you can't get like I don't know, like Ovi or Stamkos or a couple of other really solid right-handed shots that I don't want to give all of them away because I still need to pick a couple up, especially if I want to bulk up the defensive squad. The fourth line is perfectly fine, nothing to write home about. And then over on defense, as I said, I moved Howard Chuck over there, but I had just picked up Alexiak. Sorry, am I saying that wrong? Nope, Alexiak, Jamie Alexiak. And I'd have to actually go into my collection to see if it's an untradeable. I know I got it in something that I was surprised by, but I honestly could not for the life of me remember if it's an untradeable or not. But it's new to the team like this week, and I haven't been really playing this week before today since this new reset. And so Alexiak was the frontline right defenseman, being a left-handed shot and a big dude and capable of handling on the body. But he is naturally a left defenseman because in real hockey, lefties play on the left side and righties play on the right side. So it's tends to be the same sort of way with the wingers on offense as well. But it's not how I play. I play inverted. So he was right side, right defense, front line. But with moving Howard Chuck over there, I had to make the decision between having Howard Chuck on the left defense one, or Alexiak. I chose Alexiak, put him in his natural position. First game so far, I feel like it worked out pretty well. He did a good job there, and also Howard Chuck was doing a good job of getting back and getting on the body, despite really not being that big of a guy. And then down from there, the defense is just really not all that great. I still have the Jordan Subban card on my squad, I believe. I think he's like the third line left defenseman. And I've got Klus and Kyra, or Kara as they like to say, two cards that free agency cards that have been on my team for quite a while. I think Comfer and Kyra were the first two free agency cards that I got that weren't part of the monthly legends or the ones that they gave you from playing, like this Brian Boyle or the Jordan Subban or whatever the first one was or whatever. And then so however the third line, um, yeah, so as of now, the third line right defenseman, left-handed shot, is still going to be Barrett Hayton, who is always referred to as Barrett in the game if he ever does anything. Um, and I really just decided to kind of do that as opposed to letting Chelio stay on the squad because Howard Chuck very easily could have just been put on that third line right D despite being a 99 since he was kind of out of position as a defenseman. Um, and that's also a spot where I've had Chelios as well. But just comparing the Chelios to the Hayton, Hayton's got max speed on 99, which Chelios does not technically have. And then the shot is kind of the kicker because Chelios' shot's just kind of weird. It's kind of all over the place with nothing really standing out. Whereas with Barrett, at least it's 99 on power, and it's definitely lacking on accuracy. But for me, it's perfectly fine for a blue line defenseman for now. I would look to fill in other spots if I could, and I kind of thought that maybe the Brian Boyle would be there, since again you couldn't go into the Predators collection to see the card, and because it's on trade market. So what I did, and took probably too long to do, was I looked for the highest overall card of his that I could find. It took me a minute to figure it out because I'm an idiot. I found an 86 that was like a trade deadline, so I wasn't sure if the trade deadline card had any underlying stats boosted or not. Looks like basically they did not. So looking at this card and thinking like that I was going to potentially look to have him play on defense, despite the fact that he's another left-handed shot. And I'm already running my front line with two lefties, and I don't really want to do that. I prefer to stay inverted. For me, it makes certain things like pass backs and D to D one timers that much easier when they're playing inverted, just based on the way that NHL19 works. We're being told that 20 will be different. So for those of you that are going to play that, hopefully that does work out for you. But just looking at this Brian Boyle, am I really going to complain about a mostly free 94 overall end game card? Yes, I am. So it says 99 skate. It's not 99 skate. The only 99 that is in there in the skate stats is balance, and balance can tend to be one of the least important ones. For a 6'6", 245 guy, especially looking to play on defense as I was, then certainly balance would make a difference. But acceleration is 96, speed is 97, agility is also 96, and endurance is a whack-ass 88. No good. The shot stat is 89, and I kind of pointed this out that I was going to be a little surprised as to how this was going to play out, and it plays out exactly as it is. It's linear with a +8 from that 86 overall trade deadline Brian Boyle card, and it's 93 for power, both wrist shot and slap shot, and it's 86 and 87 with slap and wrist respectively, and that's just not going to cut it. It's just not good enough to make the team. I'm mostly concerned with my top two things are skate and shot, and I really thought even with an 89 that maybe he'd be kind of like Hayton was, where he'd have crazy good power and really whack-ass accuracy. But once I had seen the trade deadline card, I kind of realized it was probably going to be more like this, which is just mostly unacceptable. I'd rather have even +2, +3 to power and take that 2 or 3 away from accuracy. I'd much rather have that, especially on defense, than I would where the accuracy is relatively close to being decent enough, but the power is just way too far down at 93 for a would-be end game card. Handles at 86, huge drop off. Handles are just basically terrible. So again, I kind of saw that coming because those were the only things that we could see on the challenge page were the face stats. So we knew it was 99, 89, 86, 98, 94. And again, that's why I was thinking, okay, maybe it'll play on defense, and therefore I'm not super concerned with his handles. They could be a little bit lacking, and they are for sure. Checking at 98, you know, at his size, he can definitely get on the body a bit, but that 98 checking has more to do with his strength stat than it does with body checking, which is only 93, and that is kind of unfortunate. Shot blocking is 93, and stick checking is 95. Those things kind of fade over into defense a little bit more. His offensive awareness for a center power forward 87 is fucking atrocious. I don't understand how this is supposed to be considered an end-game card. I know I understand if this was actually a 99 and a true end game, you'd be able to add an extra 5 onto that, and that would bring the awareness up to 99. But end game 99 cards are supposed to have 99 or maybe 98 for both awareness, offensive and defensive, even if they are a pure offensive, like James Harden version of a hockey player, or if they were a pure defender who just like is incapable of doing anything in the offensive half, let alone the offensive third. The defensive awareness at 94 is probably most of what goes into that 94 face stat. It's okay. As I said, shot blocking is 93 and stick checking is 95. Face-offs for a center, again, not maxed at 94, but it's 88. You add 5 to that, you're talking about a 93, and if you had synergies to go with that, you could get that up to 95 or 97. Still not good enough for me. My guys need to be basically 99s, either pure like Messier, or with a couple points added on with synergy, and he's not that. I didn't really expect, especially the 94, but even if this was again a 99 card, it wouldn't be good enough for face-offs to put him in there as a center. And the rest of his stats mean that there'd be no reason to do that anyways. I don't know why you'd play any of your centers that don't have 99 acceleration and speed at a minimum. Poise 85, discipline 75, fighting skill 90. The rest of that stuff doesn't really matter all that much. This is just not a good card. It's just not. He's got size. Size is cool and everything, but I mean, I don't know. I'd have to go and look. I feel like I'd almost rather play with the card that is my Curse of the Bambino, the Halloween Dustin Bufflin 90 overall. I feel like that card would play better. I feel like there's probably 10, 11, maybe 12 different versions of pardon me. Excuse me. Like 10 different versions of Brent Burns cards that are not 99 overall that would be, just light years ahead of this. And I get it. I mean, Brent Burns is a much better player than Brian Boyle, so it kind of makes sense. But this may be the last of the free cards that NHL19 gives to us. And so, yeah, I'm gonna be a little salty. And then you look at the synergies: bruiser, net presence, fine shooting, breakaway boss, defensive warrior, and they're all +1. What the fuck? How are you? What? So you're giving us 5 synergies, fine, but +1, +1. Like this looks like a I don't know, like it's a fucking typo. But the underlying stats do actually line up the way that I thought they were going to. If you go linear off of his 86 overall trade deadline card from the what fucking team was it? Was it the Devils? Stars? I don't remember. I don't care anymore. I really don't. The card's not good enough. I like when I get these cards, I've always put them on my team for at least a game to play them out, try out, see how they are. I don't know where I'd put them. Like he's not good enough to kind of do anything. I mean, he's with that size and the fact that he's supposed to be able to check. I guess they'd put him on defense, and yeah, 94 overall would be at or above some others. Like, Klus is a 93. I think Kyra, what is he? Is in 93 or 94, I forget. So he's around there. The Kyra card is just like miles above and better than this card here. And it's just so I just don't know. I don't know where I'd play him. I'd probably end up like putting him in the Jordan Subban spot or something like that. But I wouldn't do that if it fucked up my synergies for sure. And I would do that for just a game, just to see how he plays and see if he gets out there. And then I'd have to like figure out what his jersey number is because I don't know. Just so that I'd be able to tell, when he's not handling the puck, where he is on the ice if I want to see kind of how active he get. So I feel like it's untradeable. I'm not going to put it into a gold rare reroll pack or some shit like that. I mean, maybe I will when 20 comes out if they're not going to give us any new material in 19. But I would foresee that I'll probably put him into one game just to see how he plays, how he is, etc. But I kind of already know the answer. I mean, you can't work with these kind of stats and these crappy synergies and be worthwhile. I mean, you can't get away with just having size. 6'6", 245 is not good enough to be able to just justify tossing you out there, even on defense. Now I say all that. If this was like 5 or 6 months ago, if it was like certainly before All Stars, maybe soon after, before they started the awards and the end of season stuff, then maybe I could justify putting him into any one of the six defensive spots and have that justified. But as of now, no bueno. So there's the card. It's untradeable. What's most important though for you all to remember is that I am terrible, terrible game. Now I'm pointing out that this card I feel like doesn't have a spot on my team. I'm also pointing out that I'm leaving a 92 overall Barrett Hayton card, Diamond, on the team on the blue line on the right side in favor of a card such as this, mainly because Hayton is, or Barrett as they call him in the game, is max skate and max shot power. And that's basically good enough for me for a blue line defenseman shooting left on the right side. So what's more important for you to know, me being as bad as I am, not only did I add slightly more than 10,000 coins through these challenges, and there's still going to be some more daily challenges. I have to assume they may not be every day, so they may not have any tomorrow in in about 11 hours from now. Wait, hold on. Yep, 11 hours. Well, nope, sorry. It's almost 7 a.m. So in 10 hours from now, they may not add one more daily challenge. But if they're like the last set of challenges, they will not add any more draft collectibles, which kind of sucks. It'd be cool if they give us at least one more free one off there from the challenges. And they're basically going to be, like, say there's 9 of them. You've got the one already that gave you the draft collectible, which is solid. Good start for sure. And then like 3 of the 9 are going to be random jersey packs, and it's going to beat my head with that one and just decide not to play, even though it's just like free. You just play a game and you get the thing. It's like I just don't even give a shit at this point. The jerseys are not that exciting. They're cosmetic, literally, and they do nothing. And when they're untradeable, you're not gonna use them. Then it's just like you have to have enough of them to be able to trade in. The gold ones you can trade in for a gold pack, and the silvers for a silver pack. And I don't know if there are any bronze jerseys. I think there are. I don't even know, but I don't know. I have no idea. It goes to show you how often I do the team trade-ins. Usually, if they're tradable, I just sell them, and if they're untradeable, I just toss them into the collection and forget about them. So yeah, 3 of the 9 will probably be random jerseys, the same way the last ones were, which just annoys me, but makes everybody else happy who already has pure 99s on their team and don't need any other players or any other help or any other collectibles or any of that kind of shit, I guess. Good for you. That's not me though. And then there'll be potentially a bronze pack. That'll be tons of fun. I did get an untradeable gold collectible out of my bronze pack from this challenge. So, you know, poo poo on you. It's better than you did probably. And then I also would expect at least a silver pack and possibly towards the end a gold pack. And again, all these things being untradeable, you know, you're not going to get too much out of that. I got a gold pack from the regular part of the challenge, and I didn't. I think I may have broadcast that. I don't really remember, but I didn't get anything out of it. It was a waste, as you know, almost all gold packs are, even though they should include these special cards that are quote unquote in hut packs now. And if they don't, I don't know. Maybe the gold plus packs have those. I haven't opened any of the gold plus packs. I haven't watched any YouTubers open up the gold plus packs, so I guess I wouldn't really know. And considering the prices and how close they are to the free agency packs, and you know that you can pull the special cards in the free agency packs, even if they've got super low probabilities of doing so, just like, you know, why not pull those packs? It makes a lot more sense. So yeah, so point being, there'll be some daily challenges for sure before the current offline versus CPU event ends, and I'm hoping that there's some value from that. And as I had said previously, I'm also hoping that this is not the end, that this is not the final challenge event that they have, and the free agency event that was still listed as going on that I think said it was going for like another 20 days or some nonsense. I'd kind of prefer if that ended sooner and was replaced with something else in the events under like objectives and milestones. There was tons of great value there in that event this go around with free agency cards. So I know I'm kind of asking for a lot, but it is what it is. And the point that I was making about my team being terrible, not only did I quickly in one day add 11,000 coins from effectively 10 games played, I also got through the 9 steps of the challenge in 9 straight games, despite, you know, starting some of those games, as I mentioned in a previous broadcast, you know, the ones that were like, you know, don't take penalties or whatever. I was AFK for like at least the first 2 periods of those games, and then realized like they weren't really racking up the stats on the other things that mattered for the potential other stars. So I just kind of tried a little bit and managed to win every single one of them first time out. Never done that in any offline versus CPU event challenge, so first time for that. And my ultimate prize is the Brian Boyle that I don't want to even see ever again on my team. It'll just make the collection look that much nicer, at least from an overall perspective, and some fancier looking cards, I guess, at the end of the season. That's pretty much it. He's not actually going to play, not going to get into my lineup, but I'm not bitching. I did get draft collectibles. I did literally pull 5 straight draft collectibles, both untradeable and tradable, from 5 straight mini free agency packs. And I understand how ridiculously low the odds of being able to do that are. So I'm not bitching in general. I'm just saying I feel like this Brian Boyle is a bit lacking. Now, they stated early on that everything that was going to be released in over the course of the year in NHL19 had been predetermined. Now, obviously, when they put up something like an Evo, or they put up something like the awards, or even like the draft cards or whatever, where it was, you know, based off of usually in real life stuff. Even the All-Star stuff was based off of, like, which things they which events they won or something like that, I think. And then the trade deadline ones, I think, had some sort of. I don't think those went up or down in value. Actually, now that I think about it, but they they meant something. I don't know what it was. Maybe like I didn't play back at that time, so I think maybe the collectibles meant that like if certain cards came out, you could choose them in a pack or something. I have no fucking idea, honestly. But the playoff ones, made a difference depending upon how far the teams went, which is why the team of the week since the end of the season has been the Blues, of almost pure 99s across the board since they got the dub. So they can say, I guess, that they knew, like, generally, like, okay, we're going to release Stanley Cup playoff cards for any team that makes it into the playoffs, and then this is how we're going to handle potentially, them getting boosted depending upon how they play during the playoffs. They might have had all that sort of stuff planned out, but I mean, honestly, dude, back in September when you released this, and back, like 14, 15 months ago when you were finalizing the development of this year's game, if your end result was to give us a Brian Boyle 94 overall with these specific stats and +1 synergies, not a fan at all. And you can compare it to the 94 legend Makita that we got just from turning in monthly awards. And you can make an argument, I guess, of was it more difficult to get through all 9 of the challenges here, get to that 9th one, and then complete all 3 of the stars for that 9th challenge? Or was it more difficult to either set alarms or just log in, I don't know, what do you need, like probably half of the month to be able to acquire the Makita, which at least for me has now been turned into a 99, so I don't even think of it as a 94 anymore. Same with the Sakic, was a 94, I think, as well, and is now a 99. So those two cards, those 2 legend cards that were not exactly maxed out, still much better than this Brian Boyle. And I think the other legend monthly cards that I don't have were like in that same area, like 94 or higher, with the Roenick, Bobby Clark, Stasny, and whomever else. I don't even really remember. But I don't have them, so I wouldn't know. I just feel like this is very lacking. But you know what? I'll take it, and that'll be the end of the broadcast. Toss it up there for people to see, and hopefully truly peace out for you now for the night, now that it is officially 7 a.m. Eastern Time, and I got to be up in 2 hours. But now that I'm playing so well with this team, and I want to put a few more games under my belt with Ovi, I think I might jump over to the few remaining offline standard challenges that I've got, because like the division challenge, for example, I don't know, maybe like 5/10 or whatever the way through Div 2, and then after that I'm gonna have to move on to Div 1. So I've got probably close to 15 games left to play. They're 4-minute periods. They take a little while to get through, but they give an okay amount of coins. And then I'll also be able to get, a gold common player for Div 2. And Div 1, I forget if it's just a gold rare player or a gold pack. It's pretty much, 6 of one, half dozen the other. You can get lucky with super lucky with a single gold rare player pull. And you can also get, super lucky with a gold pack. So I'm going to say peace out and hope that I don't come back, soon, before I need to head out for the day and take care of in real life stuff, but I might come back tonight. I just don't know with what, because I've done all the challenges and stuff, and I suck versus other players, so I don't. If I broadcast playing an online game, it's because I'm AFK and just trying to get through to try to get my complete an online game for my daily. I've already done the dailies for now, so again, I don't have any of those to do for another whatever it is that I said, and like 11, no, sorry, um, can't do math now. 5, 4, 9 hours. So, so today being tomorrow night when it comes, Saturday night, fever. If I've got a daily as a complete online game, then yeah, I'll probably go ahead and broadcast AFK in an online game in the competitive seasons summer's end or whatever the hell it's called event for round one. Other than that, I'm not sure I can really do anything in terms of like gameplay content. And there's not really much else that I can do now that there isn't any more gameplay content other than maybe playing the markets a little bit. Maybe even honestly selling the OV just because it is so highly valued and I can basically buy like 4 or 5 really good cards for that same price, in my opinion. And I do need to bulk up a little bit. My fourth line is lacking for sure. The third line is lacking a little bit, not a ton. I mean, certainly not Medano. He's perfectly fine, especially because he was in the exact same position on the front line just before, while being the exact same card that he is now. And then defense is certainly lacking, and even goaltenders I can boost a little bit. So the team is not 100% set. I'm not ready to toss out the captaincy cards for either the C or either of the A's. I've also got some untradeable jersey numbers that I can toss out there for a little bit of fun, even though most of the numbers aren't really all that fun. So there's still a little bit more for me to do to kind of get to a final team lineup, but not a ton. So I would expect you'll see something from me in the future. Just I couldn't tell you what it would be at this point. I will tell you though, if you haven't done what I did just like an hour or two ago, whatever it was, the Russia set that just came out today for the 8 collectibles. If you haven't done that, it is repeatable. I'm not sure if it shows that it's repeatable in the sets, but it is repeatable because I've done it and I can do it again right now if I wanted to. And then I would have a serious issue with trying to figure out what to do with that, because again, Malkin and Kucherov are so amazing. I kind of need right-handed shots, so I want both of those, but I'd probably have to at least consider going with Kovalchuk first before those two. So it's a bit tough. Plus, you also happen to have, as far as stats are concerned, the best goaltender in the game. So it's a pretty solid set. I don't know if you can do it like ad infinitum. I don't know if you can just like, if you've got, I don't know how much that would even cost. I don't know if you have like 14 million coins sitting around. I don't know if you can do like, a minimum of the full 8 sets, or the full set 8 times to get each of the 8 cards, despite 2 of them being cards that nobody is selling. And then just kind of go back through and just keep repeating and have like 3 versions of them because they're tradable, so you can sell the ones that you don't end up putting on your team, and then backfill with other cards that you would rather have. I don't know. Anyways, peace out. That's gonna be it for me for tonight. I really hope, because I need to probably put my head down for a minute or two before I wake up in actually a few hours. I was a little bit wrong. It's not 2. I got 3 hours before I gotta be up. So that's good. Good night, all.